You're watching ABC 7 Daybreak with Leanne Cossey, Anthony Pittman, and Storm Surge 7 meteorologist Nicole Hartford. This is ABC 7 Daybreak, the Panhandle Spirit.
It is 6:51. We're glad you're here this morning.
We are going to take another look at your headlines right now. While you were sleeping, first responders were working on a bad accident on Highway 287 near Amarillo Creek. The Potter County Fire Department chief said that the driver of a pickup truck headed north on 287 collided with a semi that was crossing the road around 11 o'clock last night. Paramedics airlifted the driver of the pickup to Northwest Texas Hospital with critical injuries. The driver of the semi was not hurt. Members of the Potter County Fire Department, Sheriff's Department, Texas DPS, Lifestar, and EMS all responded to the accident. DPS is currently investigating.
Also breaking overnight in Canyon, another reported sexual assault on campus there. And for the second time in less than a week, the alleged assault involves minors attending youth camps. According to campus police, a 14-year-old girl said that a 17-year-old boy touched her inappropriately. It happened at Mary Moody Northern Hall. Police saying the girl called them at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Both the boy and the girl are campers at the university. Police said they removed the boy from the university as parents took him home. He's now being charged with assault by contact, and that's a misdemeanor. Also happening today and right here in Texas, a summer military training exercise that has a lot of you talking about this one at home and online.
Jade Helm 15 will take place just outside the central Texas town of Bastrop, though it's not the only place that it will take place.
Jade Helm will extend across 7 southwestern states and will take place in 12 counties here in Texas.
However, the fact that the military has marked Texas as one of 2 hostile territories for training purposes has prompted several fears from residents, including martial law.
Governor Greg Abbott has directed the Texas State Guard to monitor the operation. We'll have more on this story throughout the day right here on ABC 7 News.
Next, some good news this morning. The U.S. Navy has awarded Bell Helicopter a contract for 5 Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey tilt rotors. The Navy wants the aircraft delivered to Japan. This contract marks the first sale of the aircraft through the U.S. government's foreign military sales program. Bell says this will allow Japan's ground self-defense force enhanced capabilities. The V-22 is currently in service with the U.S. Marine Corps and the Air Force Special Operations Command. This year, the Navy announced their decision to order 44 V-22 aircraft. Next, it is time for another look at your every 10-minute forecast. Nicole, sunshine, sunshine, and more sunshine, right?
Yeah, that's been the story. Not a lot of change. A few areas have gotten lucky, gotten some rainfall. We got about 1/4 of an inch at most, but most areas did see less than 1/10 of an inch, and that was just towards the northern regions. We're going to pick up on some of that again today. Our rain chances do go up as we go into the afternoon just for the northern areas. Other than that, we are looking at lots of sunshine and warm temperatures on our Capital Farm Credit 7-day forecast, really all the way through the weekend. As we head towards Sunday and Monday, though, cold front coming through, which means some cooler weather as well as some rain to start off our week. Anthony?
Well, thank you so much. New and national news this morning, an update on a deal signed yesterday with Iran. Happening today, a UN diplomat says the U.S. will circulate a draft resolution. It will authorize the agreement at the United Nations. The diplomat says the U.S. told council members of the resolution late last night and said they will introduce it later this morning. The deal both applauded and criticized by the international community. While many Democrats support the deal, some Republicans against it. Israel also disagreeing with the deal. President Obama plans to hold a news conference soon to continue trying to sell the deal to his critics.
Happening today in Oklahoma, President Barack Obama is planning a visit to the small town of Durant. The city of about 16,000 people is buzzing with excitement about Wednesday's planned visit to the town's high school. While there, Obama plans to discuss economic opportunities in the Choctaw Nation. He received less than 30% of the vote in that area in 2012 against Mitt Romney, but even Republicans say they're really excited about today's presidential trip. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is now 6:56, just 4 minutes away from 7 o'clock.
And it's a final look at your local weather forecast. What to expect as we hit high noon, and high noon under the square on the other side.
Good Friday morning, and thank you for being here with us. It is 6:30. I'm Leanne Cossey. Anthony Pittman has the day off. Here is a look at what's making headlines this morning. Happening now, Amarillo police are looking for a man they say fired a gun from his vehicle. Last night, witnesses near Forest Hill Elementary School said a man driving a red Suburban fired one shot into the air. Police spotted the vehicle near Northeast 14th and North Grand, but when they tried to arrest the driver, he ran away. Police say they are looking for a young Hispanic man. At last word, they said they still had not found him. Also this morning, the jurors have been selected for the high-profile murder trial of former Amarillo plastic surgeon Dr. Michael Dixon. Yesterday, more than 100 jurors were brought in and questioned individually. Just before 5 o'clock in the afternoon, lawyers announced they picked the final 12 jurors and 2 alternates. They said those jurors would get a call asking them to come back to the courthouse today. Dixon's trial begins on Monday. And happening in Texas, a stalled cold front is drenching towns in the western parts of the Lone Star State and even causing some flooding in the Odessa area. More heavy rain is expected this morning and overnight into Saturday for areas near Dallas and then south to Austin and San Antonio. Up to 4 to 8 inches of rain is expected. And new in national news, President Obama has vetoed a major defense funding measure written by local Congressman Mac Thornberry. The president said the proposal held up his efforts to streamline Pentagon funding and that it, quote, resorts to gimmicks that do not allow the Pentagon to do what it needs to do. More than $10 billion in funding for Pantex and Bell helicopter is in that bill. GOP officials say they will try to override the veto. And now, after a few months dedicated to remodeling the Veterans Lounge out at WT, it's now complete. ABC 7's Jillian Idle is live this morning with a sneak peek and with what impact this has on those who use the Veterans Lounge. Jillian?
That's right, Leanne. So take a look at this. This is the newly remodeled Veterans Lounge here at WT. And in just a little bit, we're actually going to hear from the Vice President, Micah Palmer. He's standing by as well. But we'll have all those details for you coming up in just a little bit. But they're very excited and actually are going to be having the grand reopening at 9:30 this morning with details coming up in just a few minutes.
That's a pretty nice lounge. I like it there, Jillian. Thank you. And thank you for joining us this morning on Daybreak. It is 6:34. Still ahead in this final half hour of Daybreak. Western Texans are preparing for even more rainfall today. We'll have the details for you. And we're heading to Fritch for this week's Panhandle Spirit. Plus, Jeannie is standing by with some fun weekend ideas for you in this week's The List.